Good morning, it's Stitchy Witch 42, Audrey, coming to you from the Hobbit Library. Today's subject is the good, the bad, and the ugly. No, I'm not talking about Clint Eastwood's cheesy westerns. I'm talking about my week. Last Tuesday, after I did my video, I went back and I was uploading it, and I saw that the lady who had directed me to another Alphonse Mucha site had also been kind enough to post a link to an Etsy shop, Avalon Cross Stitch, and both of the patterns that I was looking for were there. I have the frog today, so all of you out there stitching, don't worry about it because I got the frog. It's right here. I can feel the legs in my throat. So I went to Avalon Cross Stitch Etsy shop, found both my patterns, and while I didn't download them that day, I did get them. So I got Evening Star, and I got the Pole Star. They're 15-page patterns. I still have to finish the moon before I even get started with these, but yeah, I got them. So thank you very much, Cheryl. Thank you for the comments you made on my video, letting me know that yes, I am working on the moon. In the back of my mind, I knew that. Thank you for the link to the shop. I've got the patterns. I really, really do appreciate it. So, like I said at the beginning, this whole video is the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was stitching on my Witch's Gate, and I'm going along and I'm working on it, and I'm getting down towards the bottom of the one side, and I stopped and looked at it and realized my stitches are going to end up all the way down here at the bottom of the fabric. I don't know how that happened. When I ordered this pattern, when I ordered this fabric, it all came together, came from 1, 2, 3 stitch. I started in the center. I worked up, I'm working down. I've got plenty of space up on the top, but I'm going to end up all the way down here with my stitches at the bottom. And I know all I have to do to finish this off is stitch another piece of fabric to the bottom of it so I can hold it in my Q-snap, and it's not a big deal, but it was frustrating. So I kind of set it aside. That was, I think, Wednesday evening. So Thursday I decided to go into Joann's. I needed to buy some more fabric. I needed to get some batting and some lace. I bought another bead box, and I bought the 2017 Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornaments. And I went through here and I marked off a couple of them that I thought would be fun to work. One that I liked in particular is an ink circles. I've been wanting to do one of those, and they have a little one in this book, so I think that, I will probably do that. I have to tell you that when I do my stitching, I'm a Halloween person. I can stitch on Halloween 365. It's just who I am. I love decorating my house for Halloween. I have some things that stay up year-round. On the other hand, I love Christmas too. But I don't have a lot of cross-stitch for Christmas. I don't make ornaments for my tree because I collect glass ornaments. I collect glass fruits and vegetables, old world Christmas ornaments. I have fruits and vegetables and berries, and I have asparagus and potatoes and peppers and garlic and onions, and they're all glass ornaments, and they're all beautiful, and I absolutely love my Christmas tree. And I collect Santas, and the Santas go all over the mantle and anywhere else I can think of putting them, but I don't, other than my Christmas stockings, I don't have a lot of Christmas cross-stitch. So I bought this hoping to be inspired, because everybody seems to be doing the Christmas cross-stitch right now, and I figured, yeah, I need to try to do something besides Halloween. So when I was done with Joann's, I was headed over to the other end of Salem, and on my way, I drove past the big Goodwill Superstore there in Salem. I have a project, a Christmas project that I started last year, and while I finished the stitching, I didn't finish off the piece. So I thought, you know, I'm going to go in, I'm going to see if I can find something that I can use to finish this piece off. And I walked around. I'm in looking at all the wooden items, and I didn't find anything there. And basically I thought, you know, this was really a disappointing trip to the thrift store, because usually I can find something. So I went over to actually check out their craft section, and I found this. It's a pack of embroidery floss. It's from a company I've never heard of before called Designs for the Needle, made in Mexico. But they're all variegated threads, and it was $3.99. There's yellows and oranges and pinks and reds and purples and greens and blues and blacks and grays, and there's 36 skeins of floss in here for $3.99. I was pretty happy with that. And then when I got home and I was looking through this thing and found the ink circles, I realized I could use some of this variegated floss, because they use a variegated floss, and I don't particularly like the colors that theirs has, so I'm thinking that I can put these two together and I can get a little Christmas project out of that. So that was good. That was a very, very good thing. The other thing that I got when I got home was my package from Picture This Plus, and I got all my fabrics that I had ordered back in July. They're all 14 count Aida. So I have Murky, and I have Eek. I like Eek. I have Oaken. I like this one too. I have Wren. There is some modeling on the Wren, but not as much as I think there would be if I had gotten a linen instead of just the Aida. But that's okay. And I have Valor, which is a greenish color, and I like this one. But I think my favorite is Monster Mash. No, I'm not using this one for Christmas. That one's definitely... No, that one's definitely for another Halloween project. So, that was good stuff. Friday, some of the bad stuff started happening, and I was just, yeah, it was not a good day. Several weeks ago when I was at Joann's, I had bought this fabric, and I bought enough to make 2 project bags, one for myself, one for a friend. And I use Vana's tutorial. I use her project envelope design to do it, and all of the ones that I've done so far have had one color on the outside and another color on the inside. And I've been looking at all the different project envelopes that other people do where they have multiple colors on the outside and they're embellishing with ribbons and lace and things like that. And I thought, well, I can do that. So I had this fabric that I had bought, and I thought, I am going to go ahead and I am going to embellish this fabric. I'm going to use 2 colors on the outside, 1 color on the inside, and it's going to work out just fine. Here's the 2 colors of fabric that I have. I saw this one first, and I really, really liked that. It's something different and unique for me because it's not Halloween. And when I was trying to find something to go with it, I came up with this pink and white polka dot. And I thought, I can put the 2 of those together on the outside, and I can have the pink polka dots on the top and the black on the bottom. And then I wanted to put lace on the back. So I measured out my fabric and I cut it, and I measured out my batting. I use a thicker batting than Vonna uses. I sent one to Jay and she described it as sturdy. I gave one to Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, and she called it squishy. I think I like sturdy better. But anyway, I am happily sewing my stuff together, and I went downstairs to iron it. And that's when the ugly happened. When I was ironing it all together, I ran my iron over the lace, and the lace melted. And it left black marks up here, and it completely melted the lace over on this side. There were words. They were not pretty words. They were not nice words. They were ugly words. But I was making 2 of these, and I thought, okay, this one is mine. So oh goody, I have a needle. Anyway, this one is mine. I thought, I can come upstairs. I can do another one. So I came upstairs and I got more fabric. And I put my black lace on it. And I put my polka dots up on the top of it, because I'm going to make it work. And then when I went to lay it on my batting, I noticed this, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the picture, but the bottom piece is too narrow. It's not going to fit. When I made those 3 bags to take up to the meetup at Acorns and Threads with Joe and Lisa and Michelle, I was going to make all 3 of them the same, use the same fabric. I craft so hard I sweat glitter. I had enough for 3 of them. But I cut the fabric too narrow on one. I don't know how I cut the fabric too narrow. I measured. I had my cutting board laid out. I had my pattern laid out. I don't know how I did it. But I did the same thing here. It's about a 1/2 inch too narrow. There were more words. I was not happy. There were words. I won't tell you what the words were, but they weren't pretty. So I thought, okay, I need to walk away. I need to do something different because I'm frustrated now. I'm frustrated because my witch's gate is going to end up too close to the edge of the fabric, and I'm frustrated because I melted the lace on one of the project envelopes, and then I cut the fabric too narrow on the next envelope, and I was not happy. So I went downstairs and I got on the computer in Mark's office, and I went to Facebook and I went to play backgammon because I like playing backgammon. It's a combination of skill and strategy and luck. And I started playing that first game and I lost. I was pissed. It's just a stupid game. But I'd already had a bad day, and this was early morning. So I started my second game. And my opponent had a little bit of an edge over me and doubled me. I'm pissed. So I accepted the double. And then luck went my way, and I trumped all over that player. And then I played a third game. And I tromped all over that player. And now I'm feeling good. It's like, okay, I'm calmed down now. I can go back upstairs and I can work on something. So what I did was I had bought an extra bead box. I was going through and I was separating out all the beads from my Mill Hill kits that I have. I knew I had 6 Mill Hill kits because I had stitched them earlier in the year, and I had saved them because of the beads and because of the patterns too. But when I was going through my stuff, I realized I had almost a dozen Mill Hill kits that I had stitched at one point or another. So I had started this a few days before, but I finished it up on Thursday or on Friday, whatever day it was, Friday. And I filled both these containers with all the beads from my Mill Hill kits. I was absolutely amazed at how many beads I ended up with. But that was good. It was something that I could work on. No failure, because all I'm doing is separating beads. But you know, after having that failure and that frustration and needing to walk away, it was find something simple. Find something that's still craft related. Work on it. Distract your mind. Get over the frustration. So I got that done, and then I decided that being as Christmas is coming up and people are starting to do holiday projects, I was going to go see if I could find something on the internet. And I went downstairs, and I think I've said it before, I do Google searches. I will type in what I'm looking for, and then when I get to a page, I'll go to images, and I look at images, and that way I found a lot of the things that I have done. And I'm going through, and I'm looking at all these different images, and trying to pick out something that I would like to stitch for Christmas. There are so many wonderful patterns out there, but a lot of them just don't appeal to me. They're beautiful. I see everybody else working on them and I think that they're absolutely gorgeous, and I have no desire to stitch on them at all. They're not my style. They don't appeal to me. That's my problem. You know, that's my problem. But then I saw it. I saw this image and it made me giggle. And I knew I had to do it because it is me. It is very much me. It's not cross stitch, it's needlepoint. And I have some needlepoint canvas so I can work on it. It's the Grinch's hand. He's stealing a bauble off a Christmas tree. I giggled. I had to have this. So I printed it off, and I now have to get some stretcher bars so that I can stitch this, but yeah, I'm going to have some fun with that one. And then the second one that I found, I've actually posted some pictures both on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at StitchyWitch42. And on Facebook, I belong to Cross Stitch Addicts and Cross Stitch and Other Stuff We Love. And I posted it there. It was a freebie from the Drawn Thread called The First Snow. But it says that it's on 36 count linen, or it can also be done on 32 count linen. I didn't know if I had any. So I went ahead and I printed this one off too. I liked it. It's different from what I usually do. But I figured I could do that, and like I said, I did start on this one. The last one that I printed off is a Biscornu. And I don't think that I have a picture of it. No, there's not a finished picture in here. Not a Christmas pattern at all, but it's a Hoqwarts pattern. It's the shields from each of the houses. And it comes with directions on how to do it. So I printed it, and I will definitely be stitching that because it's on 28 count even weave, and I know that I have even weave. So I've got 3 patterns to work on that aren't Halloween. I'm so proud of myself. I found something that wasn't Halloween, and I liked them. It won't stop me from stitching on my Witch's Gate and other Halloween stuff, but I'll get into the holiday spirit and stitch holiday stuff with all of you too. Have to look at my notes to keep track of where I'm going. So anyway, I got these. I went back upstairs and I thought, I need to go through my fabrics. I need to organize them because I had some sitting out from previous projects that were just getting piled up on the desk. And as I was going through, almost everything I have is a 28 count linen or a 14 count Aida. And then I found one piece of 32 count linen. It's a lakeside linen. It's called Winter Sky. And this is how far I've gotten on it. I've only stitched on this, well, since Friday, and today's Tuesday. So I think it's coming along really well. It's got some specialty stitches in it. It's got the stitches for it's called a pine stitch for the little pine needles. And then all the snow that will go in there is a Smyrna cross. So I am pretty happy with how this is coming up, and I really like the way it's turning out, and I've posted pictures on Instagram, so check it out. So after starting that, I realized that I still wanted to go back and I want to try one more time to make a project envelope. I've made about 8 of them now using Vanna's pattern, and this is the first time that I've tried doing the multiple colors on the front, but I've got enough fabric to do it one more time. The only thing I didn't have was lace because I used up the lace on the first 2 that, you know, were ugly. So I went down to High School Pharmacy here in town. High School Pharmacy is a little variety store. They've got kitchenware in there, you can get makeup there, there's a pharmacy there, they have a sewing area, they have a garden area, you can buy Christmas cards there, and I thought, I need a card because I'm doing a card exchange. So I went and got that, and then I walked over to the fabric area and walked past the rack where they have all their DMC flosses, and I reached up and grabbed a handful of 310 because I always need 310. And I went over into the fabric area and I found some lace, so I purchased it. I'm happy with that. I start to come home and I'm going to go past the little Goodwill that's here in Silverton. I thought, you know, I didn't find anything at the Goodwill in Salem. Maybe I could find something here to finish off this piece that I stitched last year for Christmas. And I went in there, and again I went to the area where they had all the wood pieces, and I didn't find anything there. And then I went over to look at some of the frames that they had. And there was this one frame, a really nice frame that was actually from Hobby Lobby. We don't have a Hobby Lobby that's close to me. I think there's one opening up in January in Wilsonville, but I'm not exactly sure where. Anyway, I asked one of the associates there if they had a tape measure I could borrow so that I could figure out the dimensions of this frame, and it would have been a really, really nice frame, but it was too wide and too narrow. So I looked at a couple others, and I didn't find anything that was going to work, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to come up with a different idea for finishing off that piece from last year. And as I was headed up towards the front of the store, I thought, wait a second, I didn't go down this aisle. That aisle had all of their Christmas decorations and ornaments out, and I didn't really think that I would find anything there, but I did. And the funny thing is it is exactly what I wanted. I had this idea in the back of my mind that this is how I wanted to finish my piece. And when I didn't find anything at the Goodwill in Salem, I thought, well, I have something at home that might work, but when I went home and checked out the size of it, it's too big. It's the right shape. It's the right size. It's even the right color. It just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. So I bought it, $4.99. Couldn't be happier with the price. I came home, I washed it up, I let it set and dry for a bit, and then Friday evening I grabbed my piece that I finished from last year, and I used the pin and tape method of attaching my fabric to the foam core. And this is what I got. This tray is perfect. It is the right size, it is the right color, and my pattern fit in there just perfect. I attached it with command strips, the Velcro strips that you use for attaching pictures to the wall. I use those when I decorate for Halloween because one of my framed pieces I like to hang on the mirror in the living room. So I use those to attach it, and that way I can just pull this out if I wanted to change it out for something else or not. But I was very, very happy. After my bad and ugly portions, it was nice to have a good portion to the week. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you was Mark needed to go into Salem yesterday. So I went with him, and I was looking for, I can't remember what I was looking for. Oh yes, I was looking for the stretcher bars so that I could do the needlepoint. I couldn't find them at Michael's, and then we went over to Joann's and they didn't have them either. So later on today I'll be calling Acorns and Threads to see if they have them. If not, I'll go find them through the internet. But we were walking around and I found these. They're little hangers, and they've got little clips on them for hanging stuff underneath them. And I thought, you know, when I finish my little Grinch guy and I have him all done and everything, I can hang him underneath that, and ta-da, it's done. So that was my week. It was good. It was bad. It was ugly. I made it through. I made it through. And the last thing I want to tell you before I forget, the Santas were adopted. There were 4 people who commented on that last video who said that they would be very happy to adopt the Santas. And Sunday evening, I went to the first one and replied to her comment and said that I would be happy to offer them to her as she was the first. And I gave her my email address, and she must have been waiting because she emailed me back really, really fast. So they were sent off to Catherine yesterday. Catherine, I hope you have fun with them. I hope that you complete them. Please don't laugh too much when you see my work, because that work was done 24 years ago. I've improved since then. So anyway, this is my video for this week. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got a bit of a giggle out of it, because really some of the frustration that I went through, I think we all do. We put our hearts and souls into our projects, and sometimes they just don't work out the way we think they're going to. Step aside, do something different, distract yourself, start fresh, and you can do it. So, thank you once again for all of your comments on previous videos. Thank you for your likes, for your subscriptions. Thank you for visiting with me. I am using my husband's camera this morning to record this video, and I feel like it's really far, far away from me, and I don't know how things are going to show up until I finish this and actually sit down and look at it on the screen. So I hope it works out. Otherwise I have to do it all over again. Anyway, thank you all. I wish you a fabulous day. Live long, stitch on. Bye-bye.